Dr. Sabra, the last time you talk about Secularity and Secularism, I found this is very important because myself, I noticed that we have some people in Middle East, as a reaction, they just attacked the religion itself. They say, okay, we cannot build a country and have a religion at the same time. So should look like what you said about them. They are trying to secularism the community, and this is to me is wrong because we will create another problem. We create another conflict between in community itself rather than working on develop the community. So what do you think?
Okay, let's go to that what is fundamental, which we discussed the last time already. In the West, this antagonism happened, between the religious and the secular, and that produces so much problems in the Near East and so much bloodshed and so on. So it is unique. It hasn't happened in China. It hasn't happened in Greece. It only happened in Central Europe, in Western Europe, and it has been globalized now.
Okay.
So there were situations, if you take the Hebrew Bible, when you see what is the attitude, of Moses or Jesus or whatever to secular things, Jesus would say, give to the emperor what is the emperor, what belongs to the emperor, but then he would say the emperor doesn't last very long because the doomsday is coming and so on. So just a few years or this generation or whatever. So Jesus thought the end would come soon. So it is a very ironical attitude, give to the emperor what's the emperor, But when you look at the Jewish tradition, there is a tendency, to sanctify the secular. That means not to take it seriously in itself. So there are laws, about the family, law about civil society, laws about the state, etc. They're all religious laws. What comes with the modern secularization process is that all these people say, I want to determine my family life according to my own conscience. I don't want the Pope to get into my bedroom and so on. So that is a struggle for autonomy. The businessman does the same thing, Today the Pope will come and he has just an encyclical about environment. They would say he has nothing to do with the environment, The Pope would say environment is a religious thing. God created it, we have to preserve it. But secular people say, no, economics has its own laws and we have to follow these laws. And the same thing in politics, in the state, as far as states concerned, in history. So when we talk about secularity, we mean that there is something justified that secular people want to follow the laws of the family, the laws of civil society, the laws of the state in a secular way, and that they don't want the imam or the priest or the rabbi or whatever to rule into all of this. Now when it becomes secularism, then it becomes nasty, because then
it's bad
hostility, then secular people become angry, like our atheists are famous now, become angry against religion, because they think religion is authoritarian, it's totalitarian, it imposes dictatorically on people, birth control, no sex before marriage, and no birth control, no abortion, and so on and so on and so on. So the secular people say, look, we have our own experiences, and we have to deal with this, and you are celibate guys, you cannot know anything what's going on in the family and so on. So I would say when secularity, when the autonomy of the secular world is challenged all the time by religious people, then they turn into secularism and become very nasty and say, get rid of religion. Look what they're doing. They're killing each other all the time, The sooner we get rid of religion and grow up and mature, Freud, Marx, Nietzsche, and so on, the better it is.
So there's bad secularity or bad secularism?
Well, no, good and bad,
you can say it like
if you
this?
do value judgments, and some people do and some don't.
Okay.
Max Weber, for instance, would be against it, but Durkheim would be for it. So it would be good in the discourse about the secular religious thing if religious people could say, yes, there is something to creation. It has to become independent in itself. People must take responsibility for it, We priests, we cannot prescribe all the time what mad people should do or whatever. They have their own experience, they have their own conscience, and we have to respect that. I think in the future, religious people have to learn to respect secular people in terms of secularity. Namely, there is, God has not only given us faith, He has given us reason too. And therefore, people can create a secular world on the basis of reason. Hopefully they will be as rational as possible. They will make mistakes, that's what it's right. So, but if religious people do not respect the autonomy of the family, society, the state, and the historical process and so on, then these secular people will become nasty, and it becomes then secularism. That is not very good for religion. I don't think it is very good for secular people, neither.
For the community itself.
For the community itself.
Because this will create some kind of conflict.
Because an outright rejection of religion, is a very problematic thing as well. Because religion is an ambiguous thing. Let's say you say the Mary thing, Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Yes.
There is a real cult in Catholicism. And so some people will say, this cult of Mary keeps women dependent. It does not help them to get emancipated and so on, right? And this is unfortunately true. But what is also true is that this belief in Mary was for millions of women to a long time not only consoling, but it also helped their protest. It helped their protest against patriarchal domination and so on. See? Religious things are ambiguous, so you have to see that when you throw out the negative side, that you don't throw the positive side out too. Jesus would say, the weeds and so on, don't take the weeds out too early because you take all the good stuff out as well. You see, and that is a dangerous thing,
Nice.
So, secularism is undialectical. It simply says religion is bad. It prevents us from evolving and become what we can become or what we potentially are, and therefore we have to kick it out. So, but we have to understand them too. It's not alone their fault. Religious people have behaved in a different way, right?
Right.
So, you see, for instance, profanization, is on the religious side is a bad thing. So when religious people say, you profane what is holy, then that is, they may not recognize the autonomy, the rationality, the having grown up of secular people. They are not children anymore, they are not little lambs anymore. They have invented the airplane, they have invented the car. And then religious people use electricity and they use hard operations and so on. And at the same time they condemn the secularity. And then they become hypocrites.
Yep.
Right? So.
Yep, it's clear. Thank you
That's
so
about
much.
secularity and secularism.
Thank you so much.